Gotta make the hair all nice. So good morning. It's Wednesday, September the 16th. Um, there we go. Well, somewhat. As you can see, I have my apron on today. Ooh, fancy. Big black apron. Which means we're going to make something with oil in it because I am trying to preserve my shirts as much as I can because if there's anything in this world that I hate, it's shopping. I hate shopping with a passion, at least for clothes. I love shopping for craft supplies. I love shopping for groceries. I don't even mind shopping for like other day-to-day household items, but clothing, forget about it. I hate shopping for clothes. So I do all of my clothes shopping online actually. And part of that is because due to my size, there's limited places that I can go shopping locally. But the other aspect of that is if I try it on and I don't like the way I look, I don't have to come out and parade in front of other people to take a look at it. I can just put it back in the plastic envelope and send it back. And the company I shop through, most of their clothes are pretty uniform in size. So if I order a particular size in pants, usually that kind of holds across the board for the rest of the pants. So I don't have to worry about a whole lot of trying on. But this isn't an episode about talking about clothes shopping. We're going to make toothpaste today. And I just did toothpaste a couple weekends ago in Marquette when I did the kitchen witching class. So for the couple of you that are going to catch this video, because I know you watch my videos, hi guys! I'd like to say hi to Jamie, and I'd like to say hi to Wade, because I know both of them will pop in at some point. Just disregard this unless, of course, I put something in that I forgot to tell you guys, so, which can happen. It happens in my world a lot. I forget an awful lot. But we're going to make toothpaste, and it's a fairly simple recipe. You really only need 3 ingredients, and you need minimal containers, and your essential oil doesn't have to be very expensive. In fact, you don't even have to have, sorry, I'm kind of itchy. You don't even have to have essential oil. You can have flavoring too, like extract. So, you don't even have to really leave your grocery store. So your grocery store should have coconut oil. This is the preferred brand at my local grocery store. I know that there are better quality brands out there. There are higher quality brands. I think I pay about $10 for this, and this is 30 fluid ounces. Now that's kind of a deceptive term because coconut oil isn't fluid until it hits 76 degrees. It's actually very, very solid. It's kind of like lard. It's kind of the consistency of lard. But once it hits 76 degrees, it liquefies rather quickly. In fact, I was showing somebody yesterday, I put just a tiny little touch of coconut oil on my finger in solid form, and we watched, and in under a minute it was liquid, because, your skin is more than 76 degrees. The other thing you're going to want is baking soda, okay? And then, like I said, you either want your flavoring or your essential oil. So what we're going to do for this video is we're going to use wintergreen. I don't know if we're ever going to catch that label. When I use essential oils, I like to use Acacia simply because they're cost efficient, and I find that quality-wise they're just as good as Young Living or some of the other higher named ones out there. Now granted, I haven't tried doTERRA. I hear a lot about doTERRA, but I haven't tried it. And this is by no means to sell you to Acacia. This is find your own preference, because everybody uses different brands for different reasons. Some people prefer the harvesting of the plant. Some people prefer the marketing behind it. Some people prefer pricing. Go with your preference, but make sure that you're using quality, okay? Kind of research your oil a little bit. So this recipe is super simple, okay? It's 2-2-1. You need 2 parts of baking soda to 1 part coconut oil and 2 drops per ounce of essential oil or flavoring. Flavoring, you can go a little bit more. So, for example, I'm going to put this in a little 2 ounce container when it's all said and done. So this 2-ounce container, I would put 4 drops of essential oil in. Okay? The reason you don't want to put too many drops in there is because some of your essential oils, when you get into things like cinnamon or clove, you can actually burn the lining of your mouth because it's such a harsh essential oil. You don't want to harm yourself. You want to make brushing your teeth a little more pleasant. Now, to back up a step, why am I doing this? Because for me, I have a zinc allergy and I have an artificial sweetener allergy. So, if you look at the back of every toothpaste that's out there in your standard market, whether it's Walgreens, Walmart, Piggly Wiggly, any grocery store, any pharmacy, you are going to find one or both of those ingredients. You're going to find zinc because most of them are white, and that zinc helps color them nice and pure white. And or you're going to find sorbitol or sucralose or aspartame or one of those because they want the toothpaste to be sweet because they want it to be a pleasant experience for you. I can't have that. Zinc actually, I get mild anaphylactic reaction to zinc, and sorbitol creates migraines. So to brush my teeth with something that's going to make my throat swell and my head hurt really doesn't appeal to me. I'm funny that way. So, so let's get started. So you're going to take your coconut oil out, and I like to use a spatula to get it out. I'm going to use a 1/2 cup measure for the coconut oil. And you just get it in there and pack it in there real good. Now the nice thing about this is if you want to experiment with flavors and you have essential oils or you have extracts at your disposal, you can make a bigger batch like what I'm doing right now and then put it down in little, like the little 2-ounce containers. I got my little 2-ounce containers in packages from the local liquor store. They're designed for Jell-O shots, which I am a fan of, don't get me wrong, but that's not the purpose for me buying them. And you can usually buy the lids in one container and the dishes themselves in another container, bulk. You can get like, I think there's like 100 or 200 in there. Or you can buy them sometimes smaller in grocery stores in the liquor aisle. So there's my 1/2 cup of coconut oil. I'm going to put the excess back just for now. I'm going to be making more of this off camera later because I'm going to make my whole batch for the shop. Okay. So I'm going to drop this in first just because I like my oils on the bottom. But that's just me. And then we're not going to put the essential oil or the flavoring in until after we've blended. Okay. I'm going to set this out of the way because otherwise bad things will happen. It's me. There we go. And then I have a nice big 1 cup measure. And this is a nice set of cups. This is my special set for work. I keep these at the shop. You can see how it's kind of graduated. Every cup in this set, there's 4 cups in the set, but every cup has measurements for other. So if you get one dirty, all is not lost if you're too lazy to wash dishes like I sometimes am. Because this one actually measures out for full cup, 6 tablespoons, 8 tablespoons, or sorry, 16, 8, and 4 tablespoons, which translates to 1 cup, 1/2 cup, and 1/4 cup. So it's kind of nice. So 1 cup of baking soda. And there it's on the table. Ah, dang it. See, this is why you don't let people like me out without aprons on. Oh, there we go. It's probably also why they've never given me a cooking show. They can't afford the maid bill. See? Yeah. Well, anyway. So now we're going to mix this mess up. It, in a cooler temperature, is going to be a little bit harder to mix. You can nuke this very quickly. I wouldn't do more than maybe 5 to 10 seconds at a time. That's never going to do. Let me get something to actually mix that with. But yeah, don't go for more than 5 or 10 seconds at a time. You don't necessarily want to liquefy it. I mean, you're not going to hurt it if you do, but then you just have to wait for it to set up. So, yeah, I maybe should have put this in a bigger bowl too. You can see how often I do toothpaste. This is actually a new recipe to me, to be fair. The first time I tried this recipe was with the Kitchen Witching class a couple of weeks ago. And this is actually a recipe that was given to me by one of my piano parents, Laura. And she says she uses this one all the time. So the problem I've been having with my previous toothpaste recipes is that they separate. I've been doing toothpaste recipes with like glycerin and water and no coconut oil, baking soda, something else. But they separate, and then they're high maintenance. You're constantly having to shake them and mix them and yada yada yada. So okay, let's try that a little bit more now. Let's try one more time here. I tell you what, if my grandmother were watching this video right now, she'd be smacking her head. Girl, I taught you better than that. What are you thinking? I'm not thinking. That's the problem, Grandma. Okay. Let's bring this so you can watch me kind of do this a little bit. So I'm taking the back of the spoon instead of going with the bowl of the spoon. I'm just kind of compressing it. So I'm just kind of, what I'm doing is I'm forcing that powder into the oil. And it will all combine. You can kind of see on this edge here how it's starting to get creamy. Lovely. And then you switch hands because your hand gets tired. And then you make a bigger mess because you're not left-handed. Is that how this works? It's not working so hot. Okay. But we're almost there, actually. It's really nice. Mix all you stuff. Mix. Mix, 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 mix. Okay. So you see we have a nice paste. See? Isn't that lovely? So now let's do this. Let's put a little bit in here. I don't want to fill the cap. I don't want to fill the little cup quite to the top, but I want to give it a fair amount. See, it's got a fair amount in there. Okay. Let's set this aside. Okay. A mess. So what did we say? 4 drops to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when you have these dropper tops like this, don't shake them. Shaking is useless energy, and a lot of times it won't actually come out when you shake it. It's just the way they are. Come here. Okay, so 4 drops. Mix her in, mix her real good. And see how nice and pasty that is? Now, when you store this at home, you're going to want to store it in kind of a cool place. You don't want it to be in a real warm location if you can help it. Kind of keep it in the dark, and that's so that the coconut oil doesn't liquefy on you. If it does liquefy, it liquefies. It's not the end of the world. It just means that you're putting runny toothpaste on your toothbrush. So that's all mixed up. So then what I would do is I would wipe it down. Just kind of catch the top of it. Okay. Give it a lid. I put a label on it. I went to the craft store and I found these wonderful little half-sized tongue depressors. See, they're half the size of the normal ones. So I'm going to put one with it, I'm actually going to go through later on with a Dremel, and I'm going to Dremel out a hole in the top and put a string on it so I can attach it right to it, or I may just tape them on. And then when you're ready to get some toothpaste, you just pop that open, grab yourself out a little pea-sized piece, put it on the toothbrush, and you are good to go. Enjoy brushing your teeth. Now, it will have a slightly salty taste because of the baking soda. That's okay. But this would be good for you. This is healthy for your mouth. Shouldn't hurt you. If you have super sensitive gums, it might give you some issue. But, yeah, there you go. Toothpaste. So, use it in good health. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I'm hoping to do maybe a few more recipes over the next couple of weeks because I've got production coming up in the shop here. So as I do production, I will try to record videos so I can start putting some of that on the YouTube page here. So, thanks for watching. Tell your friends to watch. Next week we're going to talk about Mabon because it's a holiday. So yeah, come next week, let's talk about Mabon. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you're enjoying the weather, and I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Bye.